to tell you that we have a solution. Elect Donald J. Trump as the 47th President of the United States. Only President Trump can unite us and restore our economy, rebuild our southern border, and regain our standing in the world. When I became chairman of the RNC, I pledged to do 3 things to make that happen. First, we are going to get out the vote. Second, we are going to protect the ballot. And third, we are going to hold a world-class convention. As long as I am your chairman, these will be the RNC's only priorities, because our #1 objective is to win this election. I am pleased to say that tonight we are kicking off the biggest and best convention in the history of the Republican Party, and we are united. This election is not just about the next 4 years. It's about future generations of Americans to come. I am so proud to serve as the chairman of your Republican National Committee and to open this convention. And I am so proud to work with all of you to elect Donald J. Trump as our president and J.D. Vance as our vice president. And to make America wealthy again, safe again, strong again, and to make America great again. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to Wisconsin. "170 years ago, the Republican Party was born here, founded on the principle of freedom and dedicated to the fight to end slavery. It is an honor and privilege to represent the good, decent, hardworking, and very nice people of Wisconsin in the U.S. Senate. Like most Americans, they believe the purpose of government is to help improve lives, not make them more difficult. Unfortunately, Vice President Harris and President Biden have made our lives less safe and far more expensive. In other words, a lot more difficult. Back in 2008, Joe Biden ran out of ticket, America, unquote. They weren't joking. That was the Democrats' new radical far-left agenda. Today's Democrat Party is not the party of our parents and grandparents. That party cared about workers and people struggling to get by. Now they are the party of open borders, reckless spending, weaponized government, and weakness on the world stage. This fringe agenda includes biological males competing against girls, and the sexualization and indoctrination of our children. Today's Democrat agenda, their policies, are a clear and present danger to America, to our institutions, our values, and our people. Democrats have forgotten American families. They have abandoned the hardworking middle class. But with President Trump and Republicans, those forgotten Americans are forgotten no more. Republicans are the party of opportunity, liberty, and prosperity for all. We proved we know how to make life better for all Americans, and we can do it again. With a secure border, smaller government, less regulation, and lower taxes. Republicans understand that Americans don't want welfare, they want work. They don't want woke equity, they want God-given equality. They want the promise of our founding documents, the right to pursue happiness. That's what Republicans will deliver. We've repaired the damage caused by Democrats before, and we will do it again. We will complete the mission President Trump first articulated in 2016 to make America. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Jansen.
Howdy. Everybody at the RNC top to bottom, somebody put your hands in the air and scream, baby! I love number 3 winning, good glass fishing, bush hogging overtime. I like sitting in I can't hear you. They're listening around the world, RNC. I said, let me hear you scream, baby. I love my mask, pro cap, love my country and my flag, and the ones who made the sacrifice. They're serving military time in the thin blue line. All-American guy. I love F-250s, Alan Jackson's little bitty, and the beauty of a small town life. I like my Julie in a fold. I'm singing rock and roll, football on a Friday night. I love a cold beer can and the Marshall Tucker band, and a woman that I call my wife. Yeah, I'm a pretty simple man, ain't hard to understand. I'm an all-American guy. You know, I'm a pretty simple man, I ain't too hard to understand. Just an all-American guy. That's right. I can't hear you, Milwaukee! Everybody stay on your feet. Let's get some fun action in here. It's RNC 2024, and we are here to party for America, baby. We're here to party for America, baby. With every hand in the air, all the way to the top, side to side. I got a question for you, all the way back from 2016. Can somebody please buy me a boat? Now sing it loud and proud all the way over there. I can see you now. Ain't rich, but I damn sure. You can buy me a Yeti 110 ice down with silver bullets. Oh, I know what they say. Money can't buy everything. Everybody said maybe so. Come on now. Buddy. Break it down, boys. You hear that? First day of the RNC in Milwaukee. And everybody is screaming really loud. I can see your hands. Everybody on your feet. Let's go. Get them up. Get them up. You say, hey, hey, hey. Oh, whoa. Let's say, woo, woo. Woo. Get your hands going. Let's go. Watch this. Now, I've done concerts in this arena before. We might as well have a concert right now. The louder you get, the better I play. I said the louder you scream, the better we're gonna do. Let's go. I can't hear you. Let's go. We can get rowdier than that. Come on, it's 2024. We're here to party. While everybody's on their feet, by a show of hands, who feels blessed to be an American every single day of the week? I said by a show of hands and everybody out of their seat, who feels blessed to be an American in the land of the free, the home of the brave, every single day of the week? Then keep your hands up on the count of three, scream 1, 2, 3, go! Looking woman got a house full of kids. The keys are running a job that pays a bill. Bunch of fishing poles and ponds that I can fish. Even when it rains, I always tell you this. Hell, I'm alive and I'm free. Well, I get up in the morning and get to being me. I'm a mess, but I'm blessed. And I count my blessings every day of the week, every day, every day. Well, I count my blessings every day of the week, every day, every day. If you're feeling blessed to be alive tonight, make some noise, baby, come on. Break it down, boys. Okay, my friends in Milwaukee, wave if you can see me good. Top to bottom, side to side, every hand in the air when I say every day, and you repeat after me. Here we go. You ready? Let's go. Every day, every day. I count my blessings every day of the week. Every day, every day. That's pretty good, but that ain't good enough. Everybody hands in the air, let's go. Every day, every day. Hey. Well, I count my blessings every day of the week. Every day, every day. You know I count my blessings every day of the week.
Please welcome Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Today is a celebration. The American spirit is alive and well. And we have once again nominated for president the founding father of the America First movement, Donald John Trump. Unfortunately, this is also a somber moment for our nation. 2 days ago, evil came for the man we admire and love so much. I thank God that his hand was on President Trump. And I pray for the family of Corey Comprator, who was killed at the rally, and for other attendees who were wounded. Corey embodied the spirit of America First. He displayed the ultimate show, sacrificing his people who will do whatever it takes to defend the people and the nation that we love. Thank you. I love you too. We will honor Corey's memory by building the country he wanted, the country he wanted for his children, and a government worthy of the American people. For far too long, the establishment in Washington has sold us out. They promised unity and delivered division. They promised peace and brought war. They promised normalcy and gave us Transgender Visibility Day on Easter Sunday. And let me state this clearly. There are only two genders. And we are made in God's image. Amen. And we won't shy away from speaking that simple truth ever. The Democrats ripped open our borders and allowed millions of illegal aliens to pour in, driving up the cost of housing and healthcare while slashing American wages and eliminating jobs. They claim that our economy is thriving, yet hundreds of thousands of American-born workers lost their jobs these past few years. The Democrats' economy is of, by, and for illegal aliens. Our open borders have also unleashed the worst drug crisis in American history. Yet while hundreds of thousands of Americans are suffering, the Democrats spent over $175 billion, your tax dollars, to secure Ukraine's borders. But they tell us the border wall is too expensive. But an American government that serves the interests not of the wealthy, the globalist, or the powerful few, but of all hardworking Americans is within our grasp. Donald Trump has, and he will, make America successful again. He will make us wealthy again. And as God as my witness, he will finally give us the country we deserve. Because Donald John Trump is the leader America deserves. God bless the American people. God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America.
Tonight here at the RNC. Let's see you one time, everybody. Sing it. Give me the beat. Sound good, y'all. Sound good now. Walking, y'all. Sing. Give me the beat. Let the feeling be tonight, y'all. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Please welcome the Lieutenant Governor and current candidate for governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving us my life and health and strength, allowing me to be here and allowing us to live in this blessed and prosperous land. I am Mark Robinson. I am the first Black Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. And come November, I plan on being the first Black Governor of North Carolina. But I'm one of the political elite. I grew up poor as the ninth of 10 kids in Greensboro with an alcoholic father who beat my mother. I love to tell you that I graduated from high school, found success, never worried about money again, but I can't. I lost 2 jobs, 2 manufacturing jobs because of NAFTA, which, by the way, Joe Biden voted for. Politicians in D.C. made bad decisions. People like me suffered. I lost my car and my house. I was desperate. But you know, my story isn't unique. A couple of months ago in my travels, I stopped at a gas station. As I was leaving, a man walked out with a beard and he looked very stressed. He got in his car and I could see him holding an envelope. My heart dropped because years ago I held one just like it. It was bankruptcy papers. I could see the fear on his face. And it took me back to lying awake at night with that gnawing worrying, debating which bills weren't going to get paid. Unfortunately, many families today are having that same experience. Under Joe Biden, grocery prices have skyrocketed and gas has nearly doubled. In North Carolina, factories just like the one I worked at are closing, leaving families feeling hopeless. But there is hope, and I'm proof. My wife and I never gave up. We kept our faith. We worked hard and made it through those tough times. Now I stand before you on the verge of becoming the first Black governor of North Carolina. As governor, I will not forget where I came from or the struggles of the people I meet. And you know, there's someone else who will fight just as hard for you, President Donald J. Trump. The brave heart of our time, President Trump had our economy roaring. Gas was up below $2. Unemployment was at a historic low. People could afford homes. And we had a president who protected manufacturing jobs. Under President Trump, the American dream was alive and well. Under President Trump, there was hope. And we need that now more than ever. So this November, let's select the brave heart of our time, Donald J. Trump, to get our economy back on track, restore the American dream, and make America great again. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
ready for some are happy, some are sad. Oh, listen to the music. Oh, listen to the music. Oh, listen to the music. All the time. I got love to keep on hiding. I got love to keep on riding. I got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna catch the I'm not gonna let 'em catch the midnight ride. I'm not gonna let 'em catch the I'm not gonna let 'em catch the midnight. Early in the evening, just about supper time. Over by the courthouse, starting to unwind. Old kids on the corner, trying to bring you up. If they do nothing, closing on the hump. Down on the corner, out in the street, within the buffer of the crib. Bring get contact with me. Down on the corner, in the street, within the buffer of the crib. Where you get contact with me. If you're down and confused, 'cause you don't remember when you're talking to concentration slips away because your baby so far away. Well, there's a rose in the vestibular, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you with. Love the one you with. Love the one you with.
Please welcome Congressman Wesley Hunt of Texas.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Texas. Love you. Love you, Texas. A president's greatest responsibility is to protect the American people. And both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have failed. I'm a military guy. I flew Apaches in Iraq. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I understand that when you're given a mission, you show up, you identify the problem, and you execute. Biden and Harris haven't shown up. They don't seem to understand that they are the problem, and they've shown no empathy or remorse as the American people suffer from their failed leadership. They have imposed what Ronald Reagan called the cruelest tax on the poor, inflation. Today, 65% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck because the dollar is worth less and less every day. Grocery prices have soared. Average Americans are spending $4,300 more on energy bills. But on November the 5th, we, the people, can fix this Democrat disaster.
we can fix this disaster when we re-elect Donald John Trump as president and send him right back to where he belongs, the White House. Under President Trump, American families had more money in their pockets and bank accounts. American families could invest, save, and buy a home. Under President Trump, we had the greatest economy in our lifetime. And in less than 4 years, under Joe Biden, everything changed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we must win in November to take our country back. We owe it to future generations to embrace this pivotal moment. I owe it to my 2 daughters, Victoria and Olivia. I owe it to my 1-year-old little boy, Willie, and I owe it to all American children and their future. I'm the great-great-grandson of a slave. I'm the son of a retired lieutenant colonel. I'm the product of West Point along with my other 2 siblings. And I risked my life in combat to preserve our nation. Now, there's another man who is putting it all on the line to save our nation. His name is President Donald Trump. And with your help in November, and with his unbending resolve, together we will make America great again. God bless you, Milwaukee. May God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome U.S. Army veteran, Representative John James from Michigan's 10th Congressional District.
Good evening, Wisconsin. Warmest regards from Detroit, home of the NFC North champion, Detroit Lions. Oh, in seriousness, didn't Wesley do a great job? One of my West Point classmates, class of 2004, and there's another Midwestern boy who did a great job. Our vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance. You know, he's going to need some help when he comes up to Michigan. I'll do everything I can, but he might be the first Buckeye to win in Michigan since last time Trump was in office. But those are 2 great American dream stories from the Hunt family and from the Vance family, but I have another American dream story to tell you about. It's about a little boy from Starkville, Mississippi, who lived directly across the street from Mississippi State University, but he couldn't go there because he was black. Despite growing up in the Jim Crow South, he refused to let vulnerability become victim. He paid his way through college, served honorably in Vietnam, and started a trucking company with 1 truck. He and my mother raised me, never telling me that this is a racist country. Never, never. Even though we have market blemishes in our past, even though we have much farther to go, it did not define the nation they love. They taught me I could do anything I set my mind to. They taught me to put the Lord first always. They taught me to use my blessings to be a blessing to others. And that's what we're doing here today. That's why I went to West Point. I became a Ranger qualified Apache pilot and flew 750 hours operations in Operation Iraqi Freedom. You know, You know, that's something else me and President Trump have in common. The bad guy shot at us both, but they missed. America, until the good Lord takes. By the grace of God, I was able to come home after my deployment and help run the company business. Now I have the honor of representing the 10th Congressional District, the #1 manufacturing district in the best state in the entire union. My family's story is the American dream story. But my biggest concern right now, my biggest fear is, will children today be able to look back and share that same story? Look, I firmly believe Americans have not given up on the American dream. Joe Biden and the Democrats have given up on the American dream. Joe Biden and the Democrats think they know how to spend your money better than you do. They want to take your dollars, they want to take your voice, they want to take your control and give it back to DC bureaucrats to execute their woke and Green New Deal agenda. Well, that plan doesn't work because hope is not a plan. Black people were sold on hope. Now our streets are rife with crime. Our kids can't read, and illegals are getting better help from Democrats in 4 days than we've gotten in 400 years. Look, our daughters were sold on hope, and now they're being forced on the playing fields and changing rooms of biological males. America was sold on hope, and now the world's on fire. Our borders are wide open, and Americans are going into debt to pay for their groceries. But look. We don't even have to imagine a brighter day. We just have to remember, under President Donald J. Trump, we had a secure border. Under President Donald J. Trump, we had peace in Europe. And under President Donald J. Trump, we had an economy so good. We had an economy so good, Democrats were trying to give Obama the credit for it. Look. Yeah, I heard a little bit earlier today, if you don't vote for Donald Trump, you ain't black. But see, here's the thing. By the grace of God and the proven leadership of Donald Trump, for every American, regardless of race, color, and creed, we could once again have a land where a child's outcome is determined by their zip code. We can once again have a land where hard work truly does get you ahead. We can once again have a land where you can go from poverty to prosperity in a single generation. I believe that land is still America. America is the greatest idea that's ever been. America, I believe deeply in my heart, America is the greatest idea that's ever been. It's worth fighting for, it's worth sacrificing for, and it's worth getting out to vote for, because I truly believe in the deepest heart of hearts that with Donald J. Trump back in the White House, the best is yet to come. God bless you. Thank you. God bless America.
To show families just how much more we placed these signs at gas pumps. When President Trump left office, gas cost only $2.20. Under Biden and Harris, gas skyrocketed to the highest price in history, over $5 a gallon.
$5 a gallon is the highest historically it's ever been. It hurts my heart, it hurts my budget, it just hurts.
I've never seen it this high before, with the gas prices being the way that they are.
They're terrible. They're outrageous, overpriced.
Our paychecks are like a third of what they used to be just because of gas prices. We have to choose between, am I going to fill up my car all the way or am I going to buy a prescription?
Whenever Trump was in office, it took me about $45 to fill up, and now it's about $75 to $80. A lot of pain every time you go to the gas pump, and I know I'm not the only one that feels it.
Within my first year of driving, I'm having to deal with an average of 503 across the nation.
I feel it every time I fill up.
Well, it certainly affects my saving because it's hard to save when everything you're making is going out for groceries and gasoline.
With the gas costing more, of course, the food costs more, and also cuts into doing charitable activities, like try to deliver food to needy children.
Families right now are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's going to get worse.
How people with families do it, a normal average income, I don't see how they can pay it and have any money left over even to pay for gas.
I don't think Bidenomics works for anybody. My family can't afford any more of him.
It's impossible to pay $5.03. We need to care about our people better than that.
There are going to be 41 million new Gen Z voters this upcoming election. And when they go to cast their vote, I mean, that's definitely going to take a toll on which way they lean.
I'm voting for Trump because me and my family want to pay this amount for gasoline.
We don't need any more of this. We need more of this.
To show families just how much more they're spending on groceries under Biden and Harris than they did under President Trump, we placed these signs in grocery stores.
You got a 49% increase under Joe Biden.
I mean, a tremendous increase. It just goes on and on.
It's ridiculous.
I have definitely seen a price increase since Biden has been president.
The food prices are astronomical. They're unaffordable.
They're still going up. Every week you see something else that's gone up higher.
It's hurting everybody.
Family of 6.
I think it's especially hard on families with children. A lot of people are using food banks that never would have used food banks before.
Living on Social Security or just disability, it's very difficult to be able to maintain the expenses.
I have several elderly friends. They can't even get their medicine some months because they're paying so much for gas and groceries.
When you check out, it's shocking. It's shocking what the increase is. Everything.
Joe Biden's policy, Kamala's policies, they're killing us.
Since Biden's come in, I gotta say it's gotten worse, and they don't even care.
I served this country, and I've seen the biggest change in my entire life in these last 3.5 years. If you want to save this country, you need to vote for President Trump.
Please welcome American mother, Sarah Workman.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Workman from the great state of Arizona. I'm honored to be here tonight on behalf of everyday Americans. I'm a single mother who works 2 jobs to support my family. I know Americans can relate when I say that every time I fill up my gas tank, go to the grocery store, and try to pay the bills, I think, who doesn't miss the Trump days? But it's not just the economic pain we're all feeling under Joe Biden. It's how they're destroying the American spirit. Everywhere we look, there's pain, chaos, and crisis. Inflation, open borders, woke indoctrination in our schools, violence in our cities, and unjust rulings in our courts. All of it is eroding one of America's greatest strengths, our optimism. While the left is trying to divide us with identity politics, we are here tonight because we believe that America is always and should be one nation under God. In addition to the economic pain, the Democrats' open border policies have shattered my family with the drug epidemic. There is hope. That is what this election represents for all of us who have been forgotten over the last 4 years. Hope. We need God in our hearts and Donald Trump back in the White House. Donald Trump put me on this stage to show that he hears us, he sees us, and we are forgotten no more. I find peace in God's promise that says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, I will heal your nation. Amen. With faith, hope, and love in my heart, I know we will make America great.
Please welcome United States Senator Katie Britt of Alabama.
Good evening, Milwaukee. I'm Katie Britt. We are all here tonight for one reason. We need to change the direction of our nation. And Donald Trump is the change we need. Across America, I think all know that family is hard. Add in smartphones and social media, and we already had plenty to worry about. But then Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came around. Now our lives are that much more difficult and way more expensive. Under Biden-Harris, prices are high and expectations, well, they're low. Grocery prices are up more than 21%. Electricity is up 31%. Gas is up 48%. Mortgage rates have more than doubled. And rent is skyrocketing. To me, these aren't just numbers. This is pain for millions of Americans. It means that so many American families have to live with so much less. This is too high a price to pay for an administration that has brought us to such lows. The American people won't have the wool pulled over our eyes. We see how Biden and Harris keep making things worse. And we know the current president is not capable of turning things around. His weakness is costing us our opportunity, our prosperity, our security, our safety. Each diminished, all in decline. Just like the need to go into debt just to make ends meet. Energy dominant, stable prices, secure borders, safe streets, strong family Trump will deliver. With President Trump, the tough choice was which job offer to accept. Now, It's which second job to take just to pay the bills. Your family can't afford this costly and dangerous decline for 4 more years. 4 more years of Biden-Harris will impose a lifetime of financial damage on our children and our nation. It is time to return President Trump to the White House.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, Milwaukee. Are you ready for 4 more years of Donald Trump? Oh, me too. Listen, if you didn't believe in miracles before Saturday, you better be. Thank God Almighty that we live in a country the Alpha and the Omega. And our God still saves, he still delivers, and he still sets free. Because on Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared. Oh yeah, he roared. Yeah, yes he did. You see, this is a difficult time for our nation. Inflation is crushing families. Illegal immigration is crushing American workers. Failing schools and victimhood culture are crushing our poorest kids. And the weakness of the commander-in-chief has invited world wars all around our world. Joe Biden is asleep at the wheel and we're headed over a cliff. We hear despair in the voices of a millennial couple raising 2 kids
in a one-bedroom apartment because they can't afford a house. We see pain on the faces of Gold Star parents because their Commander-in-Chief, Joe Biden, literally forgets their son died in uniform on his watch. America, we deserve better. We deserve so much better. I was raised by a single mom in poverty. We had plastic spoons, not silver spoons. But she taught me to work hard, to take responsibility, and reject victimhood. Thank God for my wonderful mama. I know this is going to offend the liberal elites. Every time I say it, it offends them. But let me say it one more time. America is not a racist country. No, we're not. But if you are looking for racism today, you'd find it in cities run by Democrats. Look on the south side of Chicago. Poor black kids trapped in failing schools. Thousands shot every single year. Up. I partnered with the greatest president of and opportunity zones for neighborhoods that need them most. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they give illegal immigrants free hotel rooms while our veterans sleep on the streets. Disgusting, disgusting. Trump secured our border once, and Donald Trump will secure it again. This November, simply the fate for the next 4 years. We're setting a course for the next 40 years. I see our heartland filled with huge American factories, powered by abundant American energy. Generational wealth for blue-collar workers. You see, we are I love it. Awesome. We are not simply the party of our leader over her family farm, an Hispanic father working 16-hour days in Nevada, and a black teenager in Philly starving for opportunity. We're not just the opportunity party of America's future. And there's only, hear me clearly, and there's only one person who can make that vision a reality. Donald J. Trump. God bless America. Show me where to look, tell me when will I find? Will I find? Living on the ground, will I let your light shine? Oh, let your light shine down. Oh, let your light shine now.
This is the man responsible for your family's home economy. He can't even walk up steps. Biden's incompetence is financially crushing American. Biden's first act as president to raise taxes, then create a new army of IRS agents to go get the money. Biden's inflation tax costs American families more than $11,000 a year. Under Biden, the highest in 40 years, sickening grocery prices, highest gas prices in history, while Americans' incomes have fallen 3 straight years. Now, Biden's proposing a new $4.9 trillion tax hike, the largest ever, $36,000 per American family, and an end to the Trump tax cuts. It's obvious Biden must be fired. President Trump didn't just give us the strongest economy in the world, he gave us the largest tax cuts in history. And he'll do it again, including bringing back the Trump tax cuts for your family. President Trump's also going to provide economic relief for millions of Americans.
You're looking at America's service workers. And they're 150 million strong. Waitresses and workers, drivers and doormen, bartenders and baristas. And like so many others in Joe Biden's America, they're struggling economically. The majority now live paycheck to paycheck. Their credit card balances at record highs, at astronomical interest rates, and their incomes are down 3 straight years. The good news? Help is on the way. President Trump's economic plan to restart America includes no tax on tips earned by our service workers. A huge financial shot in the arm. You see, unlike Biden, President Trump doesn't want these Americans to just survive. He wants them to thrive. President Trump, he'll make America affordable again.
Please welcome the Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin.
Yes, Joe must go. Good evening. I'm Glenn Youngkin, the governor. The governor of the home of Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe, the great Commonwealth of Virginia. Tonight, we stop for a moment. We ask for God's grace to be on innocent victims. We ask him to be with their families. We thank him for this moment of unity. And we thank him for protecting our next president, Donald J. Trump. And tonight, our nation can have the conversation that so many families have at their kitchen tables. Yes, those tough conversations. How do we make it all work? The conversation young families from Midlothian, Virginia till Milwaukee, Wisconsin, whose dreams of buying a home have been shattered by 7.5% mortgage rates. The veterans from Fredericksburg, Virginia to Phoenix, Arizona, whose raises can't keep up with 30% increases in grocery prices and 40% increases in gas. the retirees from Roanoke, Virginia, to Reno, Nevada, whose fixed income has been crushed by the silent thief of inflation unleashed by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Tonight, America, the land of opportunity, just doesn't feel like that anymore. But 8 years ago, there was an outsider, a businessman, who stepped out of his career to rebuild a great nation with the strongest economy, the mightiest military, energy independence, unlimited opportunity, lifting up every American. That outsider businessman was Donald J. Trump, and he will do it again. I'm proud to be a homegrown Virginian, from a family like a lot of families, with ups and downs and highs and lows. My mom was a nurse, and she was my hero. She pulled our family together after my dad lost his job. At 15, washing dishes and flipping eggs, I learned that there is dignity in work. At the height of the pandemic 4 years ago, I asked my amazing wife, Suzanne, to go on a walk with me. I told her I planned to quit my job and run for governor. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and a quivering lip and asked, "Governor of what?" We prayed together, and we asked God for guidance and wisdom. And we said if elected, we would serve. After 12 years of only electing Democrats statewide, in November 2021, Virginians elected a Republican outside businessman as their 74th governor. And I believe this year, Virginia will elect another Republican outside businessman as President of the United States. Conservative leadership, Virginia too. $5 billion of tax relief, backing the blue. Slashing red tape, declaring loudly that yes, parents matter. And creating jobs, lots of jobs. Virginia now has record job growth, and we were just named America's top state for business. Friends, could this election be more simple? It's common sense versus chaos. It's strength versus weakness. Friends, it's not just Republicans who see this. It's Republicans, independents, and lots of Democrats. It's Americans. Under President Trump, America had high growth and low inflation. Under Joe Biden, America has low growth and high inflation. 66% of Americans now live paycheck to paycheck. Moms and dads worrying, can they buy new shoes for their kids going back to school? Can they write the tuition check for college? Will they ever be able to retire? Under President Trump, 2.4 million Americans were lifted out of poverty. Women, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans all saw record low employment. Under Donald J. Trump, we once again will have that rip-roaring economy that lifts up all Americans. That is our tomorrow. A tomorrow where work is celebrated, where taxes are cut and inflation is slashed, where we cut red tape where we unleash American energy dominance, where businesses proudly say, "Made in America." Where entrepreneurs dream and small businesses thrive, where Americans from any background can pour their God-given talents into building their American dream. This is the moment. This is our moment to make America the land of opportunity again. A nation built on a basic truth, that we are granted certain unalienable rights, not by a king, but by an almighty creator. And that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our foundational principles are non-negotiable. They are inscribed on our national soul. My fellow Americans, the spirit of hope is spreading. Everyone can feel it. And it will sweep across this nation when we elect Donald J. Trump, the 47th President of the United States. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome the CEO of Goya Foods, America First Policy Institute board member, and chairman of the Hispanic Leadership Coalition, Mr. Bob Unanue.
Buenas noches, familia. Good evening, family. Wow. Gracias. 4 years ago, I dared to say that we were blessed by Donald J. Trump, a builder. Got into trouble for that. But more than a builder, he's a courageous leader. And he will bring this nation closer to God. He will bring strength to America. And he will bring prosperity back to America. And that's what my grandfather did as a 17-year-old in 1903. He packed his clothes and his dreams in a suitcase, and he got aboard a steamship. Like millions of other immigrants, he sought nothing more than a chance to build a better life. His American dream began when he opened a small grocery and determination. He built it into the largest Hispanic-owned food company in the United States. Goya Foods grew as the Latino community flourished. The Latino community is diverse, but we are united in our values that include an unwavering faith in God, and an abiding love of family, and a fierce work ethic. We want the freedom to worship, to love, and to work in a way that gives us purpose, gives us a reason to get up every day. The Biden-Harris administration disrespects our values and has abused our community. They buried our businesses with inflation and government red tape. They even used the FBI to go after traditional Catholics as if we were terrorists. They put out the welcome mat for drug cartels. Biden's open door policies is all the more insidious because it's couched in soft terms like compassion and sanctuary. In reality, it is cruel. Joe Biden's open southern border facilitates the largest criminal enterprise in the world, which disproportionately victimizes Latinos, especially children. Last year, an HHS whistleblower testified that the United States was the middleman in a large-scale child trafficking operation that has lost track of 85,000 children, a number too large for most football stadiums. Our border czar, Kamala Harris, that means so bad, and we have enough bad, we need some good, we need goodness, was missing in action. Many Latinos came to America from countries where the few exploit and control the many. Today's Democratic Party sees this as their path to power. Instead of lifting people out of poverty, their policies are making our lives worse. For many Latinos, it's deja vu. I'll even know that's French. I don't know how to say that in Spanish, I'm sorry. The Cuban philosopher Jose Marti said, mankind is composed of two sorts of men, those who love and create and destroy. Joe Biden and his allies show contempt for anyone who disagrees with them. Their hatred of Donald Trump knows no bounds. Their radical policies are wrecking our economy and destroying our lives. On the other hand, Donald Trump loves this country. He loves us, and he knows how to build and create. He understands that lasting prosperity is built on a foundation of family, faith, work, and freedom. And not the quicksand of government handouts. He believes we are blessed by God, and with a firm belief that with God, all things are possible. He will make
come from cities and they come feet up cars and guitars and the drum. R-O-C-K in the R-O-C-K in the USA, yeah, yeah. Rockin' in the USA. When they said goodbye to the family, said goodbye to the friends. Stop changing their heads and very little money in their hands. Some are black and some are white. They ain't gotta sleep on the floor tonight. With the blind faith in Jesus, you know that they just might. Rockin' in the USA. Buses from nowhere town. Feel a head full of dreams and turn our world upside down. Yeah, there was Frankie Lyman, Bobby Fuller, Mitchell Ryder, Big Rock, Jackie Wilson, Shingle Eyes, Young Rascal, Big Rock, Spotlight on Martha Reeves. Let's don't forget James Brown, rocking in the USA. R-O-C-K 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 in the USA. Rockin' in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota.
Good evening. You all look fantastic. I love the cowboy hats. And a shout out to South Dakota. Hi. Listen, I'm Governor Kristi Noem from the great state of South Dakota. Leadership has consequences. It matters who's in the White House. Now, I've been governor under both President Trump and Joe Biden. And people ask me all the time, what's the biggest difference? And I tell them that President Trump honored the Constitution. He let me do my job. And he let me keep my people free. Now, leadership on the state level, it matters too. It certainly mattered in South Dakota. I am so proud to say that South Dakota's strong economy has been a beacon of freedom for America. Most of you probably first heard about me during COVID, didn't you? Because South Dakota was the only state in the country that stayed open for business. We didn't mandate anything. We never ordered a single business or a church to close. I never even defined what an essential business was, because I don't believe that the government has the authority to tell you that your business isn't essential. When other states were pushing mandates and lockdowns, instead in South Dakota, we hit the gas. We embraced liberty. We told our story and we invited people to come and to enjoy our beautiful state. Now, all of the things that conservatives have always talked about, we just did it, and it worked. Our economy took off, and since I've been governor, we broke the national record for the lowest unemployment rate in American history at 1.8%. In South Dakota, everybody works. We paid off state debts and bonds. We fixed dams and bridges. We built roads. We have a fully funded pension plan and a AAA credit rating. We broke records for surpluses, and we balance our budget every single year. And last year in South Dakota, we passed the largest tax cut in South Dakota history. Under my administration, incomes in our state have gone up 36%. Women-owned businesses are thriving. We also have the highest birth rate in the nation. People are having babies because they're happy. And in South Dakota, we love babies. Our mental health challenges have gone down. Our suicide rates are declining, and we are the #1 state in the country for a decline in overdoses because people have hope. We're growing so fast that we needed more workers to catch up. So we launched the most successful workforce recruitment campaign in the history of South Dakota. And they have come by the thousands to join us and to live with us. Do you guys remember those ads when I was a really lousy plumber and a really terrible electrician? Do you remember those? Well, since we started those ads, we have seen a 78% increase in licensed plumbers in the state of South Dakota. We've seen a 44% increase in electricians in our state. Now, people aren't moving to South Dakota for our beaches or for our beautiful January weather. They are moving to our state for opportunity and for freedom. And all of this happened because our people were bold. We took action, and I was strong. Now, South Dakota proved that freedom will make America wealthy again. And with President Trump in the White House, with Senator J.D. Vance by his side, we will prove it across America. Listen, 2 days ago, the whole world changed. Evil displayed itself in the very worst way, through a cowardly act. An innocent American lost his life, and we will continue to lift his family up in our prayers every single day. Prior to this week, we already knew that President Donald Trump was a fighter. He is the toughest man that I have ever met. Nobody has endured more than what he has gone through. They've attacked his reputation, they impeached him, they tried to bankrupt him, and they unjustly prosecuted him. But even in the most perilous moment this week, his instinct was to stand and to fight. Donald J. Trump is our man in the arena. He will never stop fighting for us. He will never stop, and now he is bringing all of us together. Now, I know that many of you are angry, but now is the time to unite. And we have to get to work. We have to win the hearts and minds of every single American. Wake them up with truth and with wisdom. We need to listen to them. You can't win people over by arguing with them. Visit with your neighbors, at your job, at your church, at the gas station, or even at the grocery store. Listen, there are moments in our history, often after great hardship and tragedy, when true leaders unite our country. At one time, President Lincoln, he united our country. He delivered my favorite presidential address of all time. In fact, it's the only speech or poem or song that I ever made my kids memorize when they were young, when they were little. It was the Gettysburg Address, and it was delivered during our nation's bloodiest conflict. That speech so inspired people that they continued to fight for years, and they lost loved ones in order to preserve this union we call the United States of America. Now, at that time, President Lincoln encouraged us to take increased devotion, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this earth. Like Lincoln, in the midst of our pain and division, Donald Trump is calling us to be touched by the better angels of our nature. As Paul wrote in 2 Timothy, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Even in our darkest days, we have never once given up hope. So don't quit on America. If we lose this country, where else will we go that provides more freedom and opportunity for our kids and our grandkids? And I've got 3 grandkids, and I'm counting on a whole lot more. And yes, democracy can be messy, but there is a great invisible strength to a people's union. We have shown the world that we can endure sacrifice and that we can still unite. We should still aspire to be worthy of this union, America. President Donald J. Trump is the leader we need for such a time as this. So now, I need you to get to work. Get out there, go do it. Don't quit. Keep fighting, keep uniting, keep talking to people, win the hearts and minds, and may God bless you, and may God continue to bless the great United States of America. Thank you.
Donald Trump's surprise visit to a construction site. Hundreds of cheering union members turned out to meet the former president. It was quite a scene.
These are hardworking New Yorkers, okay, union members who have been working on this big construction site here in Midtown Manhattan near Trump Tower. USA, USA, USA.
think these maybe were Democrats, but for me, they're a Republican. We built a lot of great buildings in the city with these people, and they've given me great support. They're very, very talented people. They don't get the credit for it. They have very few people can do what they do.
These union workers who are here to talk to the president are paying the price of failed economic policies currently in the country.
And you heard in New York City chants of "We want Trump."
A lot of people are talking about how unusual it is to see so many Trump supporters in Manhattan at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Does that surprise you?
No, absolutely not.
President Trump is leading Joe Biden 3-1 on my presidential poll out of my 9,000 members.
Trump's turn again. What's your message to Joe Biden?
You. We're a very patriotic group, and we love our country, and we want the best for America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bobby Bartles Jr., Business Manager of Steamfitters Local 638.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bobby Bartels. I'm a proud member of Steamfitters Local Union 638. And like many of my fellow union members, I've been a Democrat my whole life. And like so many of my fellow union members, we have come to expect empty promises from Democratic politicians. Of Democratic politicians' mismanagement, Central Park's iconic Woolman ice rink had fallen into an unusable state of disrepair. Politicians made promise after promise to fix the rink, and yet they did nothing. That's when Donald Trump stepped up. He wasn't mayor, he wasn't running for anything, but he was a guy who cared about people, and he knew how to get a job done. He put his money and his reputation on the line and committed to getting it built. He did it using skilled local union labor like the men of Local 638. Together, we worked tirelessly on that project, completing it on time and ensuring kids would be skating that fall on that rink. And a quick note to President Biden, that involved working outside the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Early one hot summer morning on that job, I saw Donald Trump visiting the site. I yelled out, "Are you here to buy us coffee?" President walked right over. He wasn't the president at the time, but he walked right over, grinning, and handed me some cash and told us it was too hot for coffee. Go buy sandwiches and drinks for everyone. Now, more than ever, we need a president who knows how to get things done. We have an open border inviting illegal immigrants to take our American jobs and lower our wages. Out of control inflation is squeezing budgets, and both violent crime and drug epidemic are pushing people out of our cities, all while Democrats do nothing. That's why this union Democrat will be voting Trump along So that's why this union Democrat, along with many of my local union members, will be voting Trump this November. So that we can take back the middle take back the country and rebuild the middle class that my union has helped build over so many years. God bless America. Thank you.
Please welcome Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida.
Good evening, Milwaukee. You know, Milwaukee, we're on live television. You gotta let me get to the speech now. Thank you. I'm Byron Donalds, and I come from the great state of Florida. And I proudly represent the people of Southwest Florida. But I was raised by a single mother in Brooklyn, New York. Life was hard and we struggled. When I was in the first grade, my mother took me out of public school because she could see that public education was failing me. I needed to be challenged, and I needed the opportunity that only a private school could provide. My mother is an educator, and she truly believed in my potential. But Democrat politicians wanted to trap me in a failing school, but my mom fought for me. Mom, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you, Mom. Words cannot describe how deeply grateful I am to be your son. When I was in the 7th grade, my mom lost her job. We went on government assistance, and my grandma helped us pay for private school. My mom and my grandma sacrificed to ensure that I could build a successful future through a commitment to academic achievement and hard work. I'm standing here today as a result of their love, good and safe schools, and great teachers. And to the teachers of America who pour your heart and your soul into your students and teach the next generation to love, honor, and serve our great country, we all say thank you. But what about those kids whose parents can't scrape money together for private school? Don't those kids who grew up like I grew up deserve the same chance that I had? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris sent their kids to high-priced private schools. But since they are in the pocket of the far-left teachers' unions, they trap poor kids like me in failing schools with no way out. They say they're pro-choice, but not if you want a choice over what your kids are taught. Donald Trump believes every parent deserves a choice and every child deserves a chance. And in November, when Donald Trump is elected our nation's 47th president, we will make sure all America's children get it. Growing up poor, I know the pain of high food prices, high energy prices, and housing costs. I remember as a kid, my mom yelling at me, "Turn off that light, you don't pay the bill." We know there's a bunch of kids in America today who are hearing that from their parents. The massive inflation created by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has only made it worse. During my first term in Congress, I served on the Budget Committee and the Small Business Committee. We told Joe Biden that his so-called American Rescue Plan was going to cause inflation. The Biden-Harris administration told us not to worry, but I knew better. I have nearly 2 decades of experience as a financial professional, and the evidence is in. Go to any grocery store, buy eggs, buy beef, buy milk. Even housing prices have skyrocketed. All Americans deserve a shot at the American dream. But under far many Americans, far too many, for far too many of them, that dream has slipped away. This shows that we were right, that Joe Biden was wrong, and that you, the American people, are paying the price. As Americans, we've all been struggling. The disastrous results of the Biden-Harris agenda transcend race, religion, or income. But under President Trump, all of this will change. And if there was ever a time in our nation to come together, that time is now. With Trump, our economy will boom again. You will have more money in your pocket again. And your children will have a future again. Together, I know we will make America wealthy again. And together, America, we will make America great again. God bless you, Milwaukee. God bless the United States of America.
Please welcome business leader and host of the All In podcast, David Sachs.
Good evening, America. Good evening, America. I'm David Sachs, a legal immigrant who worked hard to achieve the American dream. Now, thank you. Now I'm concerned those same opportunities won't be there for future generations. As I look out at this convention, I see a party that is strong and unified behind President Donald J. Trump and his pick for Vice President, Senator J.D. Vance. And what about the Democrats? They're in disarray after shielding President Biden from a vigorous primary and gaslighting the entire country about his fitness to serve. We still don't know which puppet Democrat Party bosses will install as their nominee, but we know what their agenda will be. 4 more years of chaos and failure, both at home and abroad. In my hometown of San Francisco, Democrat rule has turned the streets of our beautiful city into a cesspool of crime, homeless encampments, and open drug use. Democrats, led by border czar Kamala Harris, have allowed millions of illegal migrants to invade our country. They tasked Homeland Security not with stopping the illegal aliens, but with busing them all over our country. Democrats have recklessly spent trillions of dollars of wasteful and unnecessary government programs, setting off the worst inflation since Jimmy Carter. But worst of all, the Biden-Harris administration has taken a world that was at peace under President Trump, and they lit it on fire. First, President Biden botched the Afghanistan withdrawal, displaying incompetence and weakness for the whole world to see. Then he provoked the Russians to invade Ukraine with talk of NATO expansion. Afterward, he rejected every opportunity for peace in Ukraine, including a deal to end the war just 2 months after it broke out. Now the war is deep into the 3rd year with no end in sight. Hundreds of thousands of people are dead. Hundreds of billions of our taxpayer dollars have gone up in smoke. President Biden sold us this new forever war by promising it would weaken Russia and strengthen America. Well, how does that look today? Russia's military is bigger than before, while our own stockpiles are dangerously depleted. Every day, there are new calls for escalation, and the world looks on in horror as Joe Biden's demented policy takes us to the brink of World War III. In the Middle East, America is now losing a war with the Houthis, and the administration's policy towards Gaza has been so incoherent that the only thing that pro-Israel and pro-Palestine protesters agree on is the chant, F Joe Biden. Rather than bolstering confidence in American leadership, as he promised, President Biden has become the symbol of an America in decline. This may be our present, but it does not have to be our future. We can replace the Biden-Harris cabal with a president who is strong and smart rather than sleepy and senile. or in her case, clueless and embarrassing. A president who understands that you build the most powerful military in the world to keep America safe, not to play the world's policeman. A president who is willing to talk to adversaries as well as friends, because that is the only way to make peace. A president who will stand up to the warmongers instead of empowering them. My fellow Americans, we need a leader who commands respect and demands reciprocity from other nations. We need strength and savviness in the White House Situation Room, even if the crisis hits after Biden's bedtime. We need a president who can be president and lead, not a puppet controlled by his or her staff. We need order in our cities, order at our border, and order restored to a world on fire. My friends, we need President Donald J. Trump back in the White House. Thank you.
Please welcome women's advocate, Vanessa Fora.
Wow, you all look wonderful, beautiful from here. Look at that crowd. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, America. My name is Vanessa Fora. I was born in Peru, and my family migrated legally to the United States when I was 9 years old. Like millions of legal immigrants, my family didn't begin our pursuits of the American dream by breaking the law. We respected America, and we wanted to earn our citizenship. When we arrived in the Bronx, we lived on the 6th floor of a graffiti-painted building. Both my parents worked 2 jobs. At 18, I achieved one of my greatest aspirations. I became a United States citizen. I asked my father which party I should join. He said that we're Hispanics, we vote Democrat. But the more I learned, the more I saw that the Democratic Party didn't represent my values. Republicans did. I believe that the most important institution is the family, that the US Constitution is the greatest document in history, and that every human being, born and unborn, is made in the image of God. Today, I'm proud to be part of an organization that protects the freedoms and opportunities of women across America. I've had the honor of meeting thousands of moms. Since Biden took office, I've heard one message from mothers from all backgrounds. The cost of living is making it harder to meet basic needs. Moms are reaching down the bottom shelf to just save 35 cents. Grandmothers who should be enjoying their golden years are working again to barely make ends meet. Under the Biden-Harris agenda, we're no longer living, we're surviving. It feels more and more like I'm back in Latin America. Under President Trump, Hispanics' unemployment reached record lows and our income reached a record high. To my fellow Hispanic Americans, and to all Americans, if you believe in faith, family, freedom, financial stability, join me in voting for Donald Trump this November. Thank you, America.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Kirk.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action. Together, the largest conservative grassroots organizations in the country. Thanks to our work, I talk to a lot of young people on campuses, at our events, on my radio show, podcast, and social media. Said differently, I visit college campuses so you don't have to. I hear a lot from young people about their hopes, their dreams, and their fears. You see, young people are idealists. They respond to vision. For the past 4 years, they've seen the vision of the Biden-Harris regime. That vision is you'll own nothing and be happy. The Democrats say, instead of owning a home, you'll rent a 400 square foot studio apartment. Instead of owning a car, you'll rent a scooter using some app. Their vision is this: limit your dreams, give up, aim lower, be content with less. If you're a 20-something in America, life has been really tough. You've watched home prices rise 47% since 2020, 47%. Home ownership is now out of reach unless you make over $106,000 a year. Since I last spoke at the Republican convention 4 years ago, I've become a husband and father. In fact, we have 2 under 2. I think I get extra points for that. For millions of people my age, that is a dream that feels farther away than ever under the Biden-Harris administration. According to current projections, 1/3 of today's young Americans will never get married. The average American is having fewer children than ever before. Why? It's because for far too many, they simply can't afford them. The basic things our parents enjoyed are increasingly out of reach for Gen Z and millennials. You see, the American dream has become a luxury item for the wealthy elite. Happy countries have children. Broken countries have addiction, depression, and suffering. Democrats have given hundreds of billions of dollars to illegals and foreign nations, while Gen Z has to pinch pennies just so that they can never own a home, never marry, and work until they die, childless. Under Biden, our young people own nothing and they are miserable. Donald Trump refuses to accept this fake, pathetic, mutilated version of the American dream. When he was president, young people were richer than ever before, and he will do it again. Donald Trump is on a rescue mission to revive your birthright, one your grandparents and those before them gave everything to hand down to you. And listen carefully, everybody. This is why young men are the most conservative that they have been in 50 years. To all the Gen Zers watching this convention on TikTok right now, I have a message just for you. You don't have to stay poor. You don't have to accept being worse off than your parents. You don't have to feel aimless and unhappy. You don't have to support leaders who lied to you and took advantage of you for your vote. America's future is a series of choices. Our current state of slow, ocean national decline is a choice. This November, we're going to choose success. We're going to choose to put the future of Americans first. We are going to choose to no longer be spectators this election. We together are going to do the work to save America. We are going to choose to work harder than ever before, to chase ballots, to vote early, to register new voters. And all of us together, working harder than ever, we will fire the Biden-Harris regime and put Donald Trump back in the White House where he belongs. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
On the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, I believe that we're going to have 4 of the greatest years in the history of our country. I will once and for all secure our elections. We're going to go to paper ballots. We're going to have same-day voting, voter ID. We're going to do it properly. We're going to have good, secure, beautiful elections. We never want what happened in 2020 to happen again. But until then, Republicans must win. And we must use every appropriate tool available to beat the Democrats. They are destroying our country. Whether you vote early, absentee, by mail, or in person, we are going to protect the vote. That's the most important thing we have to do, is protect the vote. Keep your eyes open, because these people want to cheat, and they do cheat. And frankly, it's the only thing they do well. We will make sure your ballot is secure and your voice is heard. Many Republicans like to vote on election day, and we must swamp the radical Democrats with massive turnout on Tuesday, November 5th. The way you win is to swamp them. If we swamp them, they can't cheat. It just doesn't work out. But if you can't make it, you need to make a plan, register, and vote any way possible. We got to get your vote. So with your vote, we will win a victory, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. That's what it's going to go down as. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chair of the RNC Committee on the Platform, United States Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee.
Good evening, and what a great evening it is. I am Marsha Blackburn from the great state of Tennessee. And yes, last week I did have the honor of chairing the Republican Platform Committee. We produced a different kind of platform, one that is dedicated to the forgotten men and women of America. People like Brad Bordeaux, a small businessman from White Bluff, Tennessee. Brad leads Bordeaux Metals. By the end of the Obama-Biden administration, high taxes, massive government spending, and over-regulation almost put him out of business. But things changed when we elected Donald Trump. Thanks to President Trump's tax and regulation cuts, Brad and those that worked for him prospered. He hired new workers, expanded the business. Life was good and getting better. But Bidenomics was a 4-letter word for Bordeaux Metals. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, their high inflation, high interest, high taxes, and Green New scam are destroying small businesses. Biden and Harris outsourced our energy supply, driving electricity prices up over 29%. They, Joe and Kamala, walked into office, gas was $2.40 a gallon. Today, it is $3.54. Our platform says we will make America energy dominant. You know? And let me hear you now. You know who will make that happen? Donald Trump. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris also think that small business owners are wealthy and they should pay their fair share. We all know that's the left-wing code for you gotta pay more taxes. Well, in Tennessee, I led the fight against a proposed state income tax. We killed that thing. We are income tax free in Tennessee. So when Donald Trump was president, I helped him spread economic prosperity with the largest tax cut in American history. Now, President Trump will make those tax cuts permanent. But if Joe and Kamala are reelected, they say they're going to let them expire. That will be the biggest tax increase in American history. Our party's platform commits to making the Trump tax cuts permanent. And you know who will return us to an era of prosperity? Donald Trump. Now, Joe and Kamala, bless their hearts, they couldn't help themselves. They hired 85,000 new IRS agents to harass hardworking Americans. IRS penalties have surged 300%. And they're not on big corporations. They're on gig workers, freelancers, small business owners, and the self-employed. Let me ask you a question. Who is going to look at those 85,000 IRS agents and say, "You're fired"? Donald Trump. Under Biden and Harris, people are also crushed by more regulations than at any time since Jimmy Carter. Their regulations aren't just burdensome. Often, they include racist DEI requirements. Many small businesses are going bankrupt. Some are throwing up their hands in disgust. Our party's platform pledges 7 times to cut regulations that are killing jobs and costing you thousands of dollars. Now, you know who will slash that red tape and return this country to economic greatness? Donald Trump. The harmful Biden-Harris policy of business owners like Shayna Gray. She is a Black female owner of Gray Jet Cafe right here in Milwaukee. She voted for Biden in 2020, and in 24, she is voting for President Donald Trump. Our platform is a promise to people like Shayna, people like Brad, and President Trump will keep his promises just like he did the first time. So I've got one more question for you. Who should be the next president of the United States? Donald Trump. God bless you, protect you, and God bless and protect the United States. Thank you.
Did you know that your life insurance policy is an asset that you can sell? Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. I'm the CEO of Abacus Life, and for almost 20 years, we've been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. In fact, you can use the free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com, and in just
Hello, RNC. Is there any doubt who's going to be the next president of the United States? Prayer works. This nation based on faith. Prayer works. Because he was sure, as Donald Trump turned his head just slightly, that the bullet missed him just enough to save his life to be the next president of the United States. We have believed for so long that God will make some changes in this country. And he's about to make a change in the current administration and send them home. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Tonight, we make the decision on what's right for America. More prosperity, less gas prices, less food prices, help for our veterans, and God bless our military wherever they are in this United States and abroad. There would be no wars.
Ladies
there wasn't
and gentlemen,
any when President Trump
please
was president.
welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
We are here tonight for one purpose, and that is to elect Donald J. Trump as the next president of the United States. He is here tonight to show his courage, his defiance against somebody who tried to kill him. You will not take this man down. He has the courage, the strength, and he will be the next president of
Please welcome Mark Laws from Cedar Springs, Michigan.
Good evening, I'm Mark Laws and I live in Western Michigan. I'm not a senator or a governor or some other politician, but I'm just a regular guy. But to my kids and my grandkids who call me Peepaw, I'm the guy. I live on a fixed income, so I'm not one of the people that watch their portfolios. No, in the big boy Joe economy, I just worry about getting through the day. But I'm fortunate because I don't have a mortgage. If I did, I'm really not sure how I'd make it. The big boy Joe inflation has turned our dollars into nickels. And in Michigan, we got 180,000 plus people that are in tax lien foreclosure right now. So even though I don't have a mortgage, I still got to pay the government to rent my house. And if I don't, they take it away. I answer honestly, I say, I'm doing okay. But don't you remember under President Trump, we didn't have to settle for just okay. We were doing great. I wanted to make some improvements to my home, but with inflation and the price of materials, that's not possible. So I don't want to go into debt, so I just put it off. I'd also like to spoil my grandkids with some great Peepaw unique gifts for their birthdays. But with the price of gas and groceries, I don't do that. I settle for cake and ice cream. Prices keep going up, but my income stays the same. I just keep putting things off, hoping that I'll be able to afford them again someday. It's got me thinking. I've been hoping for better days, but life is happening right now, and we can't waste any more time on the big boy Joe terrible economic policies. We need to bring Donald Trump back right now. We need to know and share the 20 promises that Donald Trump has made. We need to get involved with the Trump 47. And you remember, ballots win elections, so that's the best way to do it. I know a lot of folks just kind of tune the politics out, but we really can't afford to anymore because we're not living in the same country that we grew up in. Cutesy time is over. We need to, all of us, put our shoulder to the wheel and push along and get Mr. Trump, Donald Trump, to be number 47 again. Thank you, and God bless America.
Bidenomics doesn't just have seniors worried, it has them scared.
to death. Biden's inflation has retirees at risk of running out of money. The cost of groceries is forcing many seniors to choose between food and their prescriptions. Their Social Security isn't keeping up with inflation. And thanks to Biden and Harris's open border disaster, allowing over 10 million illegals in, the whole Social Security system is at risk. And now, many seniors are also struggling to afford their housing. It's no wonder one advocacy group calls this Biden's war on seniors. President Trump has seniors' backs. He got seniors' Medicare Advantage premiums cut 34%. And he'll fix Biden's broken economy and get inflation down, just like he did before. And President Trump has made it crystal clear he will always protect seniors' Social Security and Medicare and oppose any cuts in their benefits. President Trump, he'll make America affordable again.
Please welcome Benjamin Joseph.
Hello, Michigan. Hello, my fellow patriots. I'm the owner of a home remodeling business that my father Steve started in 1972. During the Trump boom, we were thriving. Under Biden, we are surviving. I know other business owners, like many of you in this room, can relate. With the financial strain caused by the Biden-Harris economy, many clients are tightening their belts, closing their wallets, and cutting back on their home remodeling projects. To keep work coming in, I've had to lower my margins, and I mean lower them. I'm now barely making payroll, and our family just has enough to live on. But we can't build up any savings, and we can't move forward. As parents, we want to provide for our children. But more and more parents like myself have to look their little girl or their little boy in the eye when they're asked for something and say, we can't afford it. Those 4 words are heartbreaking. We didn't have to say those words under Donald Trump when he was president. That's because Donald Trump is a businessman, not a crooked career politician. President Trump understands what business owners need to succeed because he is a business owner himself and has succeeded. He knew we could create millions of great jobs if given the chance, and we did. The Trump's tax cuts and regulation cuts empowered entrepreneurs like you and me and enabled us to expand our businesses. We need him back in the White House. As a representative of Michigan at this convention, I want to give a special Michigander thank you to President Trump for being our champion. He has inspired so many of us, even in this room, to step up and get involved in the fight to save America. With his leadership and our help, we will make America affordable again, wealthy again, and great again. May God bless each and every one of you. May God bless and continue to protect President Trump and his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome Amber Rose from South Philadelphia.
Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you.
But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. Entirely is racially diverse, and I believe the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the US military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you.
Please welcome Latino American Linda Fornos.
Years ago, I left Nicaragua for a better life in a fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Woo! America welcomed me, and I embraced the values of hard work, learning the language, and respecting the laws. It's the American thing to do. In 2022, my 3 boys and I faced a devastating house fire. We lost everything. And starting over in Joe Biden's economy was almost impossible. The Biden economy is driving prices through the roof. Rent, gas, groceries, everything. As a life insurance worker, I see the struggle of people trying to save for their future while barely managing their basic needs. I'm living that same struggle every day. Life is too hard right now. One of my sons works 3 jobs, and the other down too. People. Our open borders are making this problem worse. It's upsetting to see millions of dollars being sent to help immigrants who came here illegally, while hardworking families who did it the right way are left struggling. The fact is that illegal immigration hurts legal immigrants the most. The Biden system is backwards and broken. In Biden's America, opportunities to get ahead are dwindling, and our education system is failing our children. What happened to teaching reading, writing, and math? Now, it's like our kids are getting a degree in pronoun studies. He, she, they, them. I have expected my son to come home with a diploma in advanced day 10 theory. Life was completely different under President Trump. We prosper. To my beloved Latino community, it's time to wake up and smell the cafecito. In 2020, I made a mistake. A mistake that is hard to admit, especially in this room. In 2020, I voted for Joe Biden. I'm sorry. He regretted. This November, my vote won't be taken for granted. And this time, I won't regret it. Please join me in voting for Donald J. Trump.
welcome the president of the International Teamsters, Sean O'Brien.
Greetings, delegates and guests. I'm Sean O'Brien, General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. I'd like to give my peeps from the greatest state in the nation, Massachusetts, some props. What's up? First, I want to thank the hardworking Teamsters and union members here in Milwaukee who play vital roles in the building and operations of this convention. I also want to thank President Donald Trump for opening the RNC's doors to the Teamsters Union and inviting me to speak before you tonight. I travel all across this country and meet with my members every week. You know what I see? An American worker being taken for granted. Workers being sold out to big banks, big tech, corporates, and the elite. And I'm not the only one who sees this. Everyday families see it. The American people aren't stupid. They know the system is broken. We all know how Washington is run. Working people have no chance of winning this fight. That's why I'm here today. Because I refuse to keep doing the same things my predecessors did. Today, the Teamsters are here to say we are not beholden to anyone or any party. We will create an agenda and work with a bipartisan coalition ready to accomplish something real for the American worker. And I don't care about getting criticized. It's an honor to be the first Teamster in our 121-year history to address the Republican National Convention. Several months ago, I asked the RNC and the DNC for the opportunity to speak. To be frank, when President Trump invited me to speak at this convention, there was political unrest on the left and on the right. Hard to believe. Anti-union groups demanded the president rescind his invitation. The left called me a traitor. And this is precisely why it's so important for me to be here today. Think about this. Think about this. The Teamsters are doing something correct. If the extremes in both parties think I shouldn't be on this stage. President Trump had the backbone to open the doors to this Republican convention, and that's unprecedented. to 8 Republican senators who stood up for railroad Teamsters over our fight for paid sick leave. Josh Hawley was one of them. We started talking. Senator Hawley changed his position on national right to work. Then we started walking. Senator Hawley walked a Teamsters picket line in St. Louis and a UAW picket line in Wentzville, Missouri. More than that, I want to recognize Senator Hawley for his direct, relentless, and pointed questioning of corporate talking heads, lawyers, CEOs, and apologists. He has shown he is not willing to accept their pillaging of working people's pocketbooks. I know from a career in negotiating that you get nowhere by slamming your fist on the table. The first step is to listen. The Teamsters and the GOP may not agree on many issues, but a growing group has shown the courage to sit down and consider points of view that aren't funded by big money think tanks. Senators like J.D. Vance, Roger Marshall, and Representatives Nicole Malliotakis, Mike Lawler, and Brian Fitzpatrick are among elected officials who truly care about working people. And this group is expanding and is putting fear into those who have monopolized our very broken system in America today. There are far too many people on both sides of the aisle still caught up in knee-jerk reactions to unions, who subscribe to the same tired claptrap that unions destroy American companies. Take a moment to consider United Parcel Service, which is the largest private sector logistics company, and it's been unionized for more than 100 years. More than 350,000 Teamsters make it run. We work for good middle-class wages, quality health care, and secure pensions. There are work rules that ensure fairness and due process for both sides. UPS is the most efficient package delivery company in the world. But let's not forget that UPS doesn't provide these great wages and benefits out of the kindness of its heart. UPS does it You know, corporatists hate when working people join together to form unions. But for a century, major employers have waged a war against labor by forming corporate unions of their own. We need to call the Chamber of Commerce and the business roundtables what they are. They are unions for big business. And here's another fact. Against gigantic multinational corporation, an individual worker has zero power. It's only when Americans band together in democratic unions that we win real improvements on wages, benefits, and working conditions. Companies like Amazon are bigger than most national economies. Amazon is valued over $2 trillion. That makes it the 14th largest economy in the world. What is sickening is that Amazon has abandoned any national allegiance. Amazon's sole focus is on lining its own pockets. Remember, elites have no party, elites have no nation. Their loyalty is to the balance sheet and the stock price at the expense of the American worker. In my office in Washington, D.C., I can see the United States Capitol from my window. I see well-intentioned people arrive in Washington and get eaten up by an unforgiving system. The responsibility to average Americans takes a back seat. The objective now becomes survival. Fundraiser after fundraiser, corporate consultants hedge every initiative. The Hill crawls with lifers, bouncing from government jobs to corporate jobs and back again. I think we can all agree DC is a pretty treacherous area. Most legislation is never meant to go anywhere, and it's all talk. And in America, talk isn't cheap. It's very expensive, and it comes at the cost of our own country. Working people know our system is broken. The elites are not laboring on behalf of workers. There is a political caste system that prevents citizens from accessing their representatives to hold them accountable. For a moment in time, working people in America were seen as essential. Sadly, it took a global pandemic for political and corporate elites to notice this fact. But ask yourself this question. Since the end of the pandemic, when was the last time you heard major news outlets regularly refer to workers as essential? You haven't. The men and women who provide goods and services, deliver packages, stock grocery shelves, care for patients, pick up your trash, and keep our communities safe are taken for granted. All the while, the stock market boomed, housing prices hit record highs, and corporate salaries skyrocket. But the income of everyday Americans are shrinking in the face of inflation. At the gas pumps, at the grocery store, with the electrical bill, and with the car insurance. This has got to change. Never forget, American workers own this nation. We are not renters. We are not tenants. But the corporate elite treat us like squatters, and that is a crime. We've got to fix it. Now, this will shock you. This will shock you. To paraphrase Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, it's time for both sides of Congress to stand their butts up. We need trade policies that put American workers first. It needs to be easier for companies to remain in America. We need legal protections that make it safer for workers to get a contract. We must stop corporations from abandoning local communities to inflate their bottom line. We need meaningful bankruptcy reform. Today, corporate vultures buy up companies like Yellow Freight with the intent of driving them into bankruptcy and feasting on their remains. The courts leave workers begging for crumbs as third-tier creditors. Labor law must be reformed. Americans vote for a union but can never get a union contract. Companies fire workers who try to join unions and hide behind toothless laws that are meant to protect working people but are manipulated to benefit corporations. This is economic terrorism at its best. An individual cannot withstand such an assault. A fired worker cannot afford corporate taste, and these greedy employers know it. There are no consequences for the company, only the worker. We need corporate welfare reform. Under our current system, massive companies like Amazon, Uber, Lyft, and Walmart take zero responsibilities for the workers they employ. These companies offer no real health insurance, no retirement benefits, no paid leave, relying on underfunded public assistance. And who foots the bill? The individual taxpayer. The biggest recipients of welfare in this country are corporations, and this is real corruption. We must put workers first. What could be more important to the security of our nation than a long-term investment in the American worker? In 2021, Teamsters nationwide elected me to fight for them, and that's precisely what I'm doing. Something is wrong in this country, and we need to say it out loud. I will always speak for America and the American worker, both union and non-union. I challenge each and every one of you, and especially my friends on the Democratic side, to embrace cooperation, to truly collaborate, to achieve meaningful and productive change, to ensure we make this great nation in this world the bigger, faster, and strongest nation in the entire world. I love this country. The Teamsters love this country. Our 1.3 million members move America on the roads, in the ports, on the rail, and in the air. And at the end of the day, if the powers to be stop me from raising my voice on behalf of American workers, I will not have one single regret. I still carry my commercial driver's license. I still have my place on the union seniority list. You'll find me back in Boston driving a tractor trailer, delivering equipment for Shaughnessy and Ahern, because I have the protection of a union contract that gives me the freedom to speak my mind and to fight like hell. God bless the greatest nation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back RNC Chairman Michael Whatley.
For a benediction, please welcome Pastor James Remke.
It's a great pleasure to be here. Great pleasure to see President Donald Trump safe. And if I may, before the benediction, give you this promise. You're going to be so blessed. You're going to be tired of being blessed. I guarantee it. Believe me. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, you have given us this good land as our heritage. Grant that we remember your generosity and constantly do your will. Bless our land with honest industry, truthful education, and an honorable way of life. Save us from violence, discord, and confusion, from pride and arrogance, and from every evil course of action. We give thanks to you for keeping President Trump safe. We pray for the families of those affected by the demonic violence at the rally on Saturday. And we pray you would send your holy angels to guard and keep President Trump from all harm and danger. Grant that we who came from many nations with many different languages may become a united people. Support us in defending our liberties, and give those to whom we have entrusted the authority of government the spirit and wisdom that there may be justice and peace in our land. When times are prosperous, may our hearts be thankful. And in troubled times, do not let our trust in you fail. Through Jesus Christ.
They say if it's too good to be true, it must be. But at WGU, you can get your degree with the same accreditations as the large universities. See why over 95% of employers say they would hire another WGU grad. And learn more at wgu.edu.
With favor and give you peace.
For a benediction, please welcome from California National Committee woman, Harmeet Dillon.
you, everyone. These last 48 hours have been some of the most intense, yet most prayerful of our lives. The heinous attack on President Trump and his supporters made all of us pause and seek answers and comfort. From a family of Sikh immigrants, I am honored to share with you, my fellow Republicans and guests tonight, a prayer from my faith tradition practiced by over 25 million worldwide. We recite the Ardas prayer before any new endeavor, giving thanks to God and asking for his protection and help to uphold the values of humility, truth, courage, service, and justice for all. To show respect, we cover our heads when we pray. तू ठाकर तुम पे अरदास जियो पिंड सब तेरी रास तुम मात पिता हम बारक तेरे तुमरी कृपा में सुख कनेरे कोई न जाने तुमरा अंत ऊंचे ते ऊंचा भगवंत सगल समगरी तुमरे सूतर धारी तुम ते होए सो आज्ञाकारी तुमरी गत मित तुम ही जानी नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी. Dear Waheguru, our one true God, we thank you for creating America as a unique haven on this earth where all people are free to worship according to their faith. We seek your blessings and guidance for our beloved country. Please bless our people with wisdom as they vote in the upcoming election, and please bless with humility, honesty, skill, and integrity all those who conduct the election. Finally, we thank you for the Chardi Kala spirit that we have witnessed in President Trump. That is, the tireless and uplifting spirit that is sustained even in the face of violent adversity, like a founding father centuries ago. And we thank you, dear God, for protecting his life. We thank you for his examples of nirbha, fearlessness, and nirvair, the absence of hate when faced with vitriol. These examples of extraordinary calm inspire us. Nanak Naam Chardi Kala Tere Bane Sarbatta Pala. May your name forever be exalted, spreading happiness and blessings and good spirit, that everyone may prosper and enjoy the grace of your peace. Thank you.
Senator Vance, congratulations. President Trump, we are honored to have you here tonight, and on behalf of the entire Republican Party all across America, we are grateful for you to be our nominee for the 47th President of the United States of America. The chair declares that the 2024 Republican National Convention stand in recess until tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Okay, it looks like we have stadium is emptying out except for one area down in the center. So I think we'll probably check and see what the timetable is and decide whether or not to stream all of it. So let's see. Okay, events. Master calendar. Okay, we're almost there. Looks like they start things around 10 a.m. and the first public invite, let's see. Okay, it looks like 2 p.m. Central, so that would be 1 p.m. my time. So I'll probably tune in for that if it looks like nothing much is going on. So he's MAGA. He's running as Trump's vice president. There's nothing wrong with he and his vice president being on the same team. You would want Biden and his running mate to be on the same team, and I'm sure that other candidates, I mean, who are you going to pick? Somebody who, I mean, I don't see him picking Mitt Romney. Well, I don't know. I don't know much about Vance. I know that he wrote Hillbilly Elegy, and I'm going to do some research and try to find out more about him. Because I'm not that familiar with him beyond the book that he wrote, and that he's a former never Trumper who changed his opinions. So some people are critical of him because they don't see him as being truly loyal. And well, so what if he turned off 30% of Haley's voters? People running usually try to, well, he's a senator. Yeah, he's a Marine and a lawyer. What was Barack Obama's experience before he ran for office? He was a political community organizer. Then he ran for Senate with no previous political experience. and then he ran for president after 4 years as a senator. So he's got as much experience as Barack Obama, and he's got the background as a military, and he's a lawyer, and he's not disbarred like Obama. So anyway, let's see. Anyway, Trump didn't have any experience either. Now he's got a full term under his belt. So nobody has experience before they run for the first time, and it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they don't have experience, and maybe that's good, and maybe it's, well, I don't know about that. Anyway, I'm gonna do some checking up and see what I can learn about Vance, because aside from knowing he wrote Hillbilly Elegy, I don't know much about him. I now know that he is from Ohio, and beyond that, and that he was a former Never Trumper, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I need to learn about him. So I would rather, I'm sorry, but I don't know who MTG is. Anyway, we've been going at this for not quite 4 hours, and I've been watching stream earlier in the day before this. He couldn't pick Rubio because the Senator Rubio's from Florida, Trump is from Florida, and the U.S. Constitution says that both can't be from the same state. So one of them would have to move out of state, and so why do that? Well, I don't doubt that Rubio's a nice man. Anyway, I don't think I saw Rubio when I was in Washington, D.C. I did see Mitch McConnell. I saw Ted Cruz. I got to meet Mike Lee. And I saw a Democrat senator, but I can't remember who it was. We got a tour of the Senate office building in spite of the fact that it was locked down because of connections. And Mitch McConnell is a lot smaller than I thought he would be. He looks like a big guy on television, and he's not. He's small. I walked right past him and didn't even notice him. So I wish I could remember who the Democrat who was in the rotunda was. Maybe sometime I will post some of my photographs that I took there on that trip to Washington, D.C. 2 years ago. So anyway, that's it for tonight, and we'll see about doing this tomorrow. Not sure if I'll start up at when it begins at first. It just depends on what it looks like. So we shall see. Until then, stay safe, take care, have a great night. Bye-bye.